Welcome, Storycap. Today, I'm going to cover a disaster movie from 2020 called Greenland. Spoilers ahead, be careful and pay attention. Construction work is taking place on top of a huge building. Two men discuss some delays. The one visibly frustrated by the situation is the boss, John. Shortly after, he drives his car while listening to a radio report about an interstellar comet that is expected to pass close to Earth. John arrives at a suburban neighborhood and hesitates before entering a house. Inside, he finds a woman running on a treadmill. That's Allie, his wife. They have an awkward conversation about their child, Nathan, and his upcoming birthday party. Nathan soon arrives, excited to see his father. They head to his room to discuss a drawing he made of the approaching comet named Clark. While lying on the bed, it's revealed that Nathan is diabetic. They also talk about John's separation from his wife. Later, the three of them are in the living room, listening to news updates about the comet. The interstellar object is moving quickly toward Earth and consists of numerous icy fragments trailing behind it. That night, John is seen moving back into the house, taking the guest room. The next morning, he listens to the news again. They report that pieces of the comet will strike Earth, but there is no reason to panic. While cleaning the grill for the upcoming party, Allie enters and tells him he needs to go to the store for some supplies. He takes Nathan with him, and while still in the parking lot, everyone looks up at the sky. They see the comet approaching. Inside the store, as they shop, John receives a presidential alert on his phone, followed by an automated call. No one else in the store receives the same alert. He is informed that he, along with his wife and son, are selected for emergency shelter relocation. The same alert appears on the house TV, but Allie doesn't notice it. John quickly leaves the store with Nathan. On the way home, he sees military vehicles and planes traveling in the opposite direction. When they arrive, people have already gathered for the party. John talks to Allie in the kitchen, asking if she received the same alert. She dismisses him, assuming it's only a test, but he warns her about the military presence he saw along the way. Suspicious of the comet's behavior, they return to the living room where everyone watches the news, expecting to see a fragment hitting the Atlantic Ocean. No one seems worried as the TV shows an image of the comet piece, and the children start counting down. When they reach one, anticipating the splash, nothing happens immediately. A small earthquake occurs, and John steps outside. He notices a flock of birds fleeing. Suddenly, a massive shock wave strikes, felt inside the house as well. John returns, and everyone is terrified, still following the news. The newscaster reports that the fragment has struck a city in Florida, with the shock wave felt for thousands of miles. The city was completely destroyed as a satellite view of the comet striking is broadcast on the news. People wonder if additional fragments will impact the planet. John receives another presidential alert. The message rings on both his phone and the television, so everyone can read it. No one else is receiving the same notification, which states that John is only allowed to take his family to the shelter. He is given a security code to board the plane on his phone. The others leave in panic. John and Allie hurriedly pack, worried about having enough insulin for their son. The boy asks about his grandfather. Allie prepares meals while following the frightening news. John goes to fetch Nathan, who remarks that the sky looks ablaze. Driving out of the driveway, they notice that none of their friends received the alert. Someone informs the family that a massive piece of the comet, dubbed Planet Killer, will strike Earth in 2 days. As they depart, a neighbor runs to them pleading to take their daughter. John declines, and they continue driving, debating that even if they had taken her, she might have been denied entry at the airbase. Later on, they see people already ransacking stores. Abruptly, they encounter a huge traffic jam on the highway, prompting John to take an alternate route. They listen to the news on the radio, reporting more impacts and warnings that some could destroy entire cities or even trigger an extinction-level event. They arrive at the airbase, heavily guarded by the military. People are gathered at the doors because they are not being allowed inside. The family pushes through the crowd and is admitted using the barcode they received. Once inside, they are given wristbands for personal identification and instructed to consolidate all their belongings into a single smaller bag. Suddenly, they realize Nathan's insulin is missing, and John goes to retrieve it from the car. Allie approaches the soldiers to inform them about her husband, but also mentions the boy's diabetes, creating a problem. She is taken to a superior officer who explains that someone with a chronic condition cannot be allowed on the plane. Allie tries to reason with her, but is turned down. She and her son are escorted out of the base. Meanwhile, John returns, heading toward the planes in search of them, unaware of what has occurred. John boards one of the planes about to take off, trying to reach Allie, but a passenger notices the insulin and explains the rules regarding chronic illnesses. John panics and requests to leave the plane. Suddenly, the base is breached, and people begin shooting at the military. The plane John had been exiting develops a fuel leak, so he orders everyone out and runs. The plane explodes, causing a chain reaction. John discovers his family was rejected. As Allie and Nathan are already back at the car, the boy is low on insulin. Chaos continues outside the base, delaying John's return to the car. Upon arrival, he finds a message from Allie stating she is taking Nathan to her father's house. John pursues them on the road. Allie and Nathan reach a pharmacy, check his blood sugar, and search for insulin. Suddenly, a gang storms in, opening fire, killing people nearby. They escape and get a ride partway to her father's home. The couple driving Allie begin acting strangely and violently. Eventually, they throw her out of the car, take her wristband, and drive off with Nathan, leaving her stranded on the highway. Meanwhile, John manages to secure a ride north. Inside the truck, he speaks with a man named Colin, who explains they are headed to Canada, where the driver knows someone with a plane capable of transporting people to shelters. The military has established the shelters in Greenland. Colin instructs John to locate his family and meet him in Canada for the flight. During the journey, another passenger eyes John's wristband and demands it. When John refuses, a violent fight breaks out. The struggle causes the truck to spin and crash violently. People from the back are thrown out of the truck, yet the fight continues, and John ends up killing the attacker. Colin dies in the crash. Meanwhile, Allie secures another ride toward the base, where those who took Nathan are headed. Nathan is still with them. Upon arriving at the airport base, at the first checkpoint, the boy tells a soldier that these people are not his parents. The soldier escorts the imposters away, taking Nathan inside. Later, Allie reaches the base and begins searching for Nathan from one stop to another, moving through various medical units. She finally locates him and is informed that he has received insulin. A nurse tells Allie she will assist in finding a military transport to her father's city and will accompany her with Nathan's medicine. John breaks into a house to obtain water and food. He checks the news immediately, only to see that the main impact is expected in less than 24 hours. He finds the family car keys and drives quickly to Allie's father's home. He finds him playing cards with his friends, asking about his daughter. They agree to put aside their differences and work together to locate Allie and Nathan. Meanwhile, Allie and Nathan arrive at a gas station and call home. John and her father go to pick them up, and the family is finally reunited. Once back at the house, they confirm that the information John had about the shelters was accurate. John convinces Allie that they should travel to Canada and try their luck, so they prepare for the journey. Unfortunately, they cannot persuade Allie's father to join them. Suddenly, a massive fragment of the comet falls nearby, prompting them to leave immediately. Allie's father hands John a gun, says his goodbyes, and remains behind as they drive away. John and Allie reconnect during the drive, promising to stay together. They stop at a blockade along the road when debris from the comet begins falling all around them. John maneuvers out of the line of cars, but fragments continue to rain down. Allie moves to the back to shield Nathan, while John searches for shelter. They pause near a bridge where others are also hiding, but John runs to help a man trapped in a burning car. Later that night, they continue their journey and cross into Canada. While searching for the airport, they listen to the radio and realize there is very little time left before the largest part of the comet strikes Earth, threatening to destroy more than 75% of all living things. As they drive, they spot one plane taking off and another about to lift. They chase the second plane, and John stops it by driving directly in front. The pilot hesitates to allow them on board due to full capacity, but they manage to convince him. John dreams of better times, and upon waking, they are approaching Greenland. The area appears unaffected by the comet until a fragment strikes the water, sending a shockwave that hits their plane. Both engines fail, and the pilot struggles to keep it airborne. They glide and land on a glacier, but the pilots are pinned on impact, and John cannot help them. He spots a military plane landing nearby and guides the passengers there. Upon arrival, a military truck takes them to the shelter. As they enter, Planet Killer's impact is imminent, set to arrive within minutes, and people continue moving deeper inside. Once inside, they brace for impact, recalling flashbacks of their happy past. 9 months later, the planet is devastated, cities are completely ruined, and a radio signal searches for survivors. It establishes a connection, confirming that the dust has settled and there is no radiation. The shelter hatches open, revealing the family still alive. Facing the ruined planet, they see a bird flying outside and begin emerging from the shelter. From space, Earth is shown, with radio signals connecting survivors around the globe. People are still alive everywhere.